So hi Jonathan, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Good afternoon. So we were thinking about maybe doing you some questions before we start.
Sure.
So I was wondering, because you studied in France and also in the UK,
Yeah.
how has this affected your sound and your way of playing?
Okay, so obviously I began the saxophone in the UK when I was about 12 years old, and right from the beginning I was always really interested in the French aesthetic of saxophone playing. I was very lucky to hear some of the French virtuoso saxophonists at an early age, like Vincent David and Claude Delong, and it really inspired me to go and look further to really understand the possibilities and the limits of the saxophone as a classical instrument. So I decided quite early on that I wanted to go and study in France, and I was lucky to study with Vincent David and then Claude Delong at the Paris Conservatoire. And my time in France really opened up my mind and allowed me to understand what I could do with the saxophone as a classical instrument. The versatility of it, the different sounds it could make, as well as the different types of repertoire and styles that we could perform on it. And it really allowed me to concentrate on my saxophone playing as a classical instrument, which I think in the UK is also a big thing as well, but maybe at Conservatoire we're encouraged more to double and triple on other instruments and to be more versed in other styles like jazz, pop, theatre work, that kind of thing. So that was what made me go to France to study, because I wanted to pursue the classical side of the instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And also I was wondering, because I've seen you've played as a soloist with different orchestras,
Yeah.
but you've also done lots of work in chamber music, as
Yeah.
with your quartet, with Yendo. So as today we are hosting Selmer here, I was wondering what aspects of the instruments you think that help you to be so versatile within, like, playing as a soloist or as a chamber music musician?
So it's something obviously that we think a lot about as classical musicians and as musicians in general, that we want to be flexible to play in a variety of settings, whether it be a large room where we've got to project really far, or a smaller room where we have to play maybe a bit quieter, or chamber music where we have to really mix and blend with other instruments. So in the instruments that I've chosen, which are all Selmer Series 3, Alto and Soprano, which are gold plated, and tenor sax, which is the normal lacquered finish. I find that with these instruments it really gives me exactly what I want to perform in all of these different settings and surroundings, and I've never had any problem adapting to different genres, whether it be as a soloist or as a chamber musician or in an orchestra.
Yeah. So you play gold in alto and soprano?
Yeah.
And the normal one in tenor?
Yeah.
And so how you feel the gold finishing affects your sound?
So I think I find personally that it gives me a much more fuller, richer sound, whilst maintaining a good projection and homogeneity of sound throughout all the registers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And so what about the rest of your setup?
Yeah. So I'm a Van Doren artist, so I play Van Doren mouthpieces and reeds. So on the alto I've got an AL3 with a 3.5 blue box traditional reed, and on the soprano an S27.
S27?
With 3.5 traditional, as well.
And in the tenor?
Tenor T20.
T20.
With 3 V12s.
3 V12, okay. And just to finish, like, last year you won the Royal Overseas League.
Yeah.
Congratulations. How do you think that has affected your career this year?
So the great thing about the Royal Overseas League competition is that it gives so many opportunities to perform all over the country and also throughout the Commonwealth. And the competition's really given me that exposure to a lot of different promoters, festivals. So it's really helped open the doors to those kind of contacts and given me many more performance opportunities.